Good morning. Today we are going to discuss the remaining part of the dispersion. So we have seen last time we have seen that the dispersion is divided up of two category. One is called as intramodal dispersion and second is called as intermodal dispersion. Intermodal dispersion. So intramodal dispersion, we have already discussed that a fiber is there and light is going to pass through it and the same mode is going to be dispersed, and that means spread it out. The reason was being dependent upon the material as well as the wavelength, which were the responsible for the intramodal dispersion. Now next is intermodal dispersion. Let us say a wave consists a large number of modes inside it and all the modes are passing it, so each mode gets spread out, so which causes the diffusion of the light to takes place like this way. So all the light, they get merged together and combined together, and we could not able to distinguish between different modes, so that is called as the intermodal dispersion. So intermodal dispersion is like this kind of particular behavior, means each and every mode is going to be get spread out and merged together in such a way that it behaves like a single beam. So that kind of intermodal dispersion is there. So that, now what are the reasons for intermodal dispersion? Now let us consider fiber, that is this one, and where we have got a core and cladding. Now let us say a fiber strikes at this angle. Now this going, see this one. Let us take another fiber where the angle is slightly different, like this fiber is there and the angle is like this way, so like this way. Now you have seen case 2's are there, one case and two case. In one case larger angle, different angle, smaller angle was there and light passes through a larger deflections, but at smaller angle the deflection is going to be there. So in both of the cases, the in second case the larger will light will going to travel more inside the fiber, so as compared to first one. Now for example, all the modes are going to passes simultaneously, both the kind of mode. So what happens, so both the modes are going to passes through the fiber simultaneously. So then what will happen, so that means this is also passing and other is going to be passing like this way. So that means the output is going to be get delayed. Why? Because some are coming earlier, some are coming late, so that is coming to be delayed. So that is how the dispersion, intermodal dispersion, is going to be arises. So this kind of dispersion can be avoided by converting the step index fiber to gradient index fiber, to the gradient index fiber. So in gradient index fiber we have seen the fiber structure is totally different. Instead of step, there was a gradual variation, and that gradual variation was occur like this way. Unique variation was there, and so this kind of unique variation used to occur side of such kind of fibers. So in that case, light travel here, come here, go here, come here, go here, and like that way. Second case, this one and like this way. So different kind of communication used to be travel. So here the time is going to be get compensated and adjusted in such a way that at one time it take longer time, other time it will take smaller, and second time longer then smaller. So same unequal time was being removed out, so equal time is being going to taken for all the beams to be traveled from this fiber. So that means this kind of dispersion can be avoided by taking converting step index fiber to the gradient index fiber. Now let us derive an expression for this intermodal dispersion. Now let us derive a mathematical expression for the intermodal dispersion. Consider a ray is going to strike here and then it get reflected and then strikes here and then comes out from the fiber. Now how the delay is going to take place, that we have to taken for this one. Now we know, let us say refractive index. Refractive index is equal to C upon V. So that means V can be written as C upon N1. Now let us say there are two kind of times which are going to be taken, minimum and maximum time. So minimum time which is going to be taken will be equal to that is time taken for the axle relay to travel along the length of the fiber, which gives minimum delay time, because which is going along this fiber, this end, which will be going to take minimum time. So minimum time will be equal to distance upon velocity. So distance upon c upon n1, that is equal to L n1 upon c. So that is the first part, that is the minimum time which is going to be travel, where n1 is the refractive index of the core, c the velocity of the light in the vacuum. Now maximum delay time will be taken when the light is undergoing at different parts. Now next is maximum time to be taken. So the maximum time will be taken is equal to let us say the ray is going to travel like this way. So this is the base, this is hypotenuse. So base upon hypotenuse is cos theta. So this base upon hypotenuse is cos theta. So x is equal to L upon cos theta. So it is L upon cos theta divided by the velocity which was equal to c upon n1. So that means it will be L n1 upon c cos theta, that is the maximum time is going to be taken by it. So now let us say at the core cladding interface, that is at this point, there occur the critical angle. So we know that sin c is equal to n2 by n1. We can take this as approximately equal to cos theta. So we can replace the cos theta, since angle their values are larger at smaller value differences, this value could be same. So we can take it as approximately equal to cos theta. And now so this value can be put here in this equation number 2, that is 1. That is for small angles this value is going to be same. So that's why instead of sin c we are going to take the cos theta. So cos theta is being taken as n2 by n1. So T maximum will be equal to L n1 upon c into n2 upon n1, that is equal to L n1 square upon c n2. So that is, this is the time which is going to be maximum time going to be taken. Now we have to find how much delay is going to be there, which represent the intermodal dispersion. So the delay will be measured, that is delta t will be measured as equal to T maximum minus T minimum. And T maximum we have find it out, it is L n1 square upon C n2 minus L n1 upon C. We can take it out, L n1 upon C as common, it will be n1 minus n2 upon n2. So n1 minus n2 upon n2, we know that it is equal to delta n2, that is equal to delta, which is called as fractional change in refractive index. So delta T delay is equal to L n1 upon C into delta. So that is an expression which we are got it out. So we know numerical aperture can be written in terms of delta as equal to n1 under root of twice of delta. So squaring both sides, so it will be n square is equal to n1 square into 2 delta. So we can find delta is equal to 1 upon 2 n1 square into numerical aperture whole square. So this value if we substitute here in equation number 3, delta t delay will be equal to L n1 upon C into 1 by 2 n1 square into na whole square. So that value we have got. Now we cancel out some common factor, so that is this one. So L upon 2 n1c into na whole square. So that is a delta time delay which is going to take place. So this is how the intermodal dispersion is going to take place. So this is the expression for the intermodal dispersion, that it directly depend upon the numerical aperture refractive index of the core. If the refractive index of the core is more, then the delay will be more, and the refractive index is smaller, then the delay will be smaller. So this is an expression for the derivation for the intermodal dispersion. Next part is how optical fiber can be used in communication system. In applications are there, how we can use them in communication system. So first application is communication. Communication means we have to transmit the signal from one part to another. So for that we need one is a transmitter, another is the receiver, and another is the receiver, and in between them we need a medium. So that is the complete communication anywhere, any kind of communication. This is a general block diagram. So this is the block diagram for any communication system. So this diagram represents how the communication used to take place, whether you are going to take audio communication, whether you are going to take video communication. So all these three things are going to be followed. So that means in between the medium, so we are going to replace it as a fiber. So that will be act like a medium. Instead of medium, we are going to take it as a fiber through which the signal is going to be transmitted. So in the left side, we have to connect it with the help of a transmitter, and in the right side, we have to receive it with a receiver. So these things are required which will make a communication possible. Transmitter and the receivers are being required. So what kind of communication you are going to takes place? So according to the communication, so let us say we are going to take audio video communication. So let us say first we are going to take, first part is called as message origin. Message origin means any instrument which is required to convert your audio signal into the audio signal into the electrical signal. So most of the time here we used a device called as a transducer. Transducer, which is a device which convert your electrical energy to mechanical energy and mechanical energy to electrical energy. Once the signal is being converted, so then that signal will be quite weaker. So then there is a need of modulation. Modulation is required to communicate it out. So modulation means you are riding the cycle, riding the signal to a particular signal. For example, if you have to go somewhere at Ambala, you want to go on foot, you can go on bike, you can go on car. So fastest way is you have to take a vehicle which can travel faster. So the process of riding a weak thing over to a larger, stronger source so that the system will move faster. So that process is called as a modulation. So modulation is being done, and then this is being converted into the light form, that is with the help of a laser or LED. So this signal is being converted, and then the coupling is being done with the help of optical fiber. So that means whatever the light is being generated from your voice signal, that is being connected to the optical fiber, and then optical fiber will carry out your signal. So this whole part will consist of your transmitter. And after that, once you receive it out, again a coupler is required which will couple back the signal, and then your reverse communication is required. Here we need an optoelectronic device. Optoelectronic device is a device which converts your light signal to the electrical signal one, and then another thing is required, that whatever the demodulation is there. Demodulation means whatever the signal up to which you have write it out, so it has to be de-written out. Why? Because you cannot if you keep the modulation signal along with it, its cost will be very much realized out. And once then demodulation is done, then it will be reached to destination. Again there will be a transducer which will be convert your signal, electrical signal, back to the voice signal. So this is how one kind of communication used to takes place. So many more applications are going to be there, so that we will discuss it out later on. So again, once I will communicate this application as very good application. So what we need message origin, modulator, then the laser source, then coupler, then optical fiber, then coupler, then your optoelectronic device, then demodulator, and then message origin. All these blocks have got their own importance. So one part is transmitter, this part is receiver, and this part is medium. So how this communication used to take place. So in the next time we are going to discuss about the optical fiber communication with more applications.